The white continent is an alien so unique and unearthly that it can act as a preparation for outer space. He goes on to say Antarctica is a gallery of icebergs that are as fascinating as are the animals, sculpted by wind and water. You won't believe this part. They fill the bays, they coast along the shorelines, and they drift in the beautiful blue currents, tabular, doomed, pinnacled. Their colors are intense, that glittering, unearthly white, the strange shades of blue of their hollows, and the greeny blues underwater like no other color on Earth.
Welcome, luxury enthusiasts, to the Luxury Travelers Podcast, hosted by Rodney George. The ultimate passport to opulent destinations, extravagant experiences, and unparalleled indulgence. Whether one is a seasoned jet setter or daydreaming of the next lavish getaway, the Luxury Travelers Podcast has it all covered. So buckle up and prepare for a journey into the lap of luxury. Now, your host.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, whatever time it is when you're finally getting around to check out this version of the Luxury Travelers Podcast. Unfortunately, our scheduled guest was unable to appear today, so I thought I'd take this time to share with you a couple of exciting things that we're doing over the next 18 months. First and foremost, well, not foremost, but certainly first, is Antarctica, the seventh continent. And not to bore you, but this is something that a gentleman that just returned from Antarctica wrote, and he's a much better writer than I am. And so I'm just going to read a couple of excerpts from it, just so you kind of get the feel for what it might be like to experience Antarctica for the first time. He writes, "They say Antarctica is the closest thing on Earth to the planet Mars. I didn't know this part, that NASA actually uses it for training by bringing prospective astronauts to Antarctica to experience the isolation, the extremes, the sense of displacement from the world." Kind of a neat idea, actually. It's incredibly beautiful and endlessly fascinating. The white continent is an alien so unique and unearthly that it can act as a preparation for outer space. He goes on to say Antarctica is a gallery of icebergs that are as fascinating as are the animals, sculpted by wind and water. You won't believe this part. They fill the bays, they coast along the shorelines, and they drift in the beautiful blue currents, tabular, doomed, pinnacled. Their colors are intense, that glittering, unearthly white, the strange shades of blue of their hollows, and the greeny blues underwater like no other color on Earth. He said, "We came upon a large pod of humpback whales snoozing near the surface." Now, I did not know this either, that humpback whales shut down half their brain in order to sleep. I know some folks that maybe shut down their whole brain and never got it going again. I don't know about you. But when we arrived, it seemed to wake them up, and they rolled and spouted, and so close to us that we could smell the foul fish stink of their breath exhalations. A couple of the whales actually started to breach. These are whales that, by the way, are the size of London double-decker buses. And as they threw themselves and their enormous flanks before falling back with a great belly flop into the bay, and no one really knows why they do this. It could be to signal dominance. It could be clearing themselves of parasites that have attached to them, or communicating in some way or another, or, hey, who knows, maybe just for fun. Just showing off, right? And of course, the penguins with their rookeries, rookeries means like a huge family of penguins. He said they just go on and on. You can watch them all day because they're all into minor crimes and just misdemeanors, he says, as they steal. Petty little neighborhood squabbles begin. Stealing pebbles or rocks from their neighbor's pile of stones, to keep from having to go all the way to the cold waters to get them for themselves. On their own, the penguins seem to be lost, wide-eyed and anxious. They wander around and away, stopping, starting, looking, frowning, stopping again, unable to decide where to go and what to do. And then they come upon a penguin highway, which is a track worn through the snow by other penguins or birds all the way to the waterline. And it relieves them of their need to make decisions. They just follow the path that's already been created. And then he talked about the killer orca whales and how they hunt and the fact that the sounds that they make are so eerie that it's sometimes almost creepy. And he finished up with this. He said, it probably helped that no one had to go shopping. No one had to prepare dinner or do the washing up or pick up the kids from school or driving carpool. He said we were living in a never land of an expedition cruise ship and in the unearthly remoteness of Antarctica. None of us felt ready for our abrupt return to the real world, and as we sailed into the channel near our journey's end, we saw roads and cars and street lamps and houses for the first time in 12 days. We were overcome with the nostalgia for the remarkable place that we had all shared together, the extraordinary continent at the end of the world. And at journey's end, this embarkation felt like an unhappy exile back to reality. I love when he says that we were overcome with nostalgia for the remarkable place that we had shared. Can you wait to be overcome with the nostalgia of the place that you have the opportunity to share? So that you have that opportunity, and so that you have an opportunity to do it in the luxury style that is almost demanded by our cadre of travelers. We're going to do Seabourn's newest expedition ship. It's only 2 years old. It's called the Pursuit, which I think is a worthy title. We have 2 dates that you can join us in 2027. We're going to go in January. That's their June. And we're going to go in February. That's their July. Now, it's not going to be like June or July is wherever you live in the United States. I can assure you of that. But the temperatures will be in the mid-30s during the day. I'll tell you a little bit about what you're going to get to help you accommodate for that, so you don't even have to take your coat with you. But the first departure is a 13-day exploration, January 10 to 23. The second one is February 1 to February 12. Now, if you'd like to receive this information, all you have to do is email me, Rodney at luxtravelconsultants.com. That's Rodney at luxtravelconsultants.com. The experience on this ship will be second to none because it's all-inclusive, very intimate, private, yacht-like ship for about 200 people. Personalized service by a team that they live to excel. Seabourn is known for their complimentary caviar, an indulgence that's offered throughout every voyage on every Seabourn ship. World-class dining and culinary experiences. All the dining is complimentary. So is the wine, so is the champagne, so is the fully stocked bar. Your gratuities are included in all the pricing. Seabourn conversations by expedition experts will be conducted virtually every day we're on this ship, getting us ready for whatever we're doing the next day. And a wide variety of ways that we're going to see all of the wonderful wildlife that is, in fact, Antarctica. Sometimes we'll be using zodiacs and making some landings. There'll be some photography workshops on the way there to help you take better pictures while you're there. I mentioned something to keep you warm. You get a complimentary Seabourn Expedition parka that you can take home with you and a day pack. And opportunities abound for frequent wildlife sightings from the ship and from the shore. And always the expedition team providing incredible narration so that you can understand what you're about to see, what you are seeing, or what you saw during your time ashore on that particular day. So let us know if you're interested. This is an incredible experience for all. It's I think I call it bragging rights because you might be the first person in your group that's been to the seventh continent. Okay, rub your hands together a little bit. Let's warm up a little bit because the next trip I want to tell you about comes up a little sooner on the calendar because this is 2026. I'm often asked, because I've traveled the world for the last 40 years, what's your favorite place in the whole world? And I have a lot of favorite places. I have a favorite beach. I have a favorite island I like to go to in the Caribbean. I have a favorite town I like to go to in Italy. I got a lot of favorites. So it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for history, it might be a cruise down the Danube River, the demarcation line for communism during World War II. If you're looking for a beach, that could be anywhere that's got a comfortable chair. And for me, I'm very simple. Cold cerveza will do the job. But if you ask me the question a little different, phrase the question just a little bit differently, what is the most beautiful place you've ever been? That's the easiest question you could ask me as an avid traveler. And that, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is an area called French Polynesia, the Society Islands, more specifically Bora Bora. You know, Frank Sinatra in his song, New York, New York, said the city's so great they had to name it twice. Well, that's kind of like Bora Bora. It's so incredible they named it twice. And it is the most beautiful place that I've been to on this earth. And it's spectacular. So what we're going to do is we have the Paul Gogan cruise ship, which is a 330 passenger cruise ship. So it's relatively small, which is good because that means you got fewer people that you're having to compete with for food, beverage, trips ashore, etc. The Paul Gogan just completed on April 1st an 8-week-long facelift or refurbishment. I can't wait to see it. As a matter of fact, the lady that was supposed to be on the call today is with Paul Gogan, and when she returns to record her session, we'll have all types of photographs and videos of what the ship looks like now that it's been redone. Here again, we have 2 dates that you can join us. The first date is July 14 to 29 of next year, of 2026, or September 8th to 23rd. One of those is, or both of those are 12 nights, and they're both on the same ship, and we're going to the same islands in the Society and the Tuamotus on each cruise. So just pick the date that works best for you. July 14 to 29, September 8 to 23, both of those in 2026. You have to understand a lot about Tahiti in order to enjoy this trip. And so we have some videos and things that we can send over to you if you'd like some additional information. But first, let me tell you what all's included in this cruise with Paul Gogan. First of all, we highly recommend, although it's not included in the pricing, it's a separate entity because there's, I think there's 27 different room categories at the Four Seasons in Bora Bora. I personally think it would be a major sin to go to the Society Islands in Bora Bora in particular and not spend at least 3, 5, 7 nights in an over-the-water bungalow. One of the most romantic things I think you can do is to sit in your living room, enjoying wine with your traveling companion, and watching through the glass floor in your living room the fish, the turtles, the manta ray swimming right underneath your room as you're enjoying life with your favorite beverage and with your favorite person. But on board the Gogan, everything's included, all your meals, all of your beverages, 24-hour room service. You have an in-room refrigerator that's replenished on a daily basis, all your entertainment. And by the way, they have a lot of lectures on here too, so that you know what you're going to see tomorrow and better understand that. All of the presentations are included, the onboard gratuities for room stewards, dining, and bar staff. They use the ship as kind of a floating marina on several days where they drop the drawbridge on the aft deck of the ship, and it becomes a floating dock, basically, for paddle boarding. They do that at the destination beach. They have 2 different days that we go to a destination beach on properties that they actually own. And just so you can stay in touch if you care to do so. When you're in paradise, it's a little harder to get focused on staying in touch. But I know in this world, in today's world anyway, we do need to stay in touch. So staying in touch via free Wi-Fi. And again, I would not rule out, as a matter of fact, I would just pound the table that you got to spend a few nights in one of those fabulous rooms at the Four Seasons in Bora Bora in an over-the-water bungalow. I would suggest you do it pre-cruise, but you can do it post-cruise. I've got some clients that are leaving this July, and they're doing exactly what we're talking about cruise-wise. They're doing exactly what we're talking about at the Four Seasons, and then they're flying to Australia to do 20 days, 10 days in Australia and 10 days in New Zealand to round out an entire month worth of travel in that region of the world. I have to tell you, and I hope my client's not going to listen to this version of this, but when he found out what time the flight left, he said, "I'm not going on that plane." He's going because it's the only way you can get from Tahiti to Australia. The flight does leave at 3:00 in the morning, but you won't mind it because you're going from paradise to 2 of the most interesting countries on the earth. And you're going to see such fabulous things as the Sydney Opera House and the Great Barrier Reef. Amazing, amazing countries, amazing people in the land of Down Under. So we're constantly looking for new and exciting places to go because we find as we grow older in this business, as we grow older in life, that our needs, our desires, our wants, and our what's important change. And whether that's because you're into conservation or if it's that you just don't want to go and do the same things you've already done before, we're always looking for new and exciting things to do. I had a meeting this morning with a gentleman who's a master sommelier. And the interesting thing about him is that his wife is also a master sommelier. And we're working on some ideas with them way out in 2027 and 2028. That's how far ahead we plan some of these things. So stay tuned. Keep a watch on what we're doing. And if you have questions about anything, we love to talk. We love to put together that perfect custom itinerary for you. I remember about 5 years ago, I was interviewed by the local newspaper here in Naples, and they did a feature article on us on the front page of the business section of the newspaper. And when they interview you, you have no editorial privilege at all. So I had no idea what they were going to say. But when the paper came out and I saw the headline, I knew they understood what I had been telling them. I spent almost an entire day with them because they titled the article, "Take the Kids and Pick Up the Tab." And as a grandfather, I get that. When grandpa's paying, you don't get very many no's. I have 3 children and 4 grandchildren, and my children are all married. And so it becomes a pretty big undertaking. But if you plan that, you will create memories that will last not only for the rest of your life, but well beyond when you've left this planet. It'll go on with your children and your grandchildren, and they'll tell their children. The memories of a lifetime are yours to create. So when you think about some of these journeys that we talk about and some of the podcasts that we've done, if you want to go back through them, there's plenty of opportunities to take the kids and pick up the tab. I wish all of you a wonderful summer as we're getting into the summer months here. And I hope that you'll give us a call and let us take you to where we want to go, where you want to go, or just shoot us an email, Rodney@luxtravelconsultants.com. And just drop us a note and tell us what you're thinking about, and we'll be back at you as quick as we can to find out really what it is that you want to do so that it's a trip that's made just for you and your family. And as always, my good friend Philip Randall up in Atlanta, Georgia, I'd love to close the show with Dr. Randall's favorite line, and that is, enjoy yourself. It is later than you think. Bye for now.
Thanks for joining us on the Luxury Travelers Podcast. For more information, head on over to luxurytravelerspodcast.com to connect with our team or leave us a message. Until next time, safe travels and savor the extraordinary.